This is Sky FM.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Sky FM.
Welcome to it. This is the Sky Forum with your girl, Tasha, Miss Brown Sugar Manda. And yes, as every other night, we're going to have a conversation that is truly long overdue. But not only that, it's absolutely imperative that you be part of the conversation. So 0966100885 or 0777885885 are the numbers to call once we open the phone lines. They're not open yet. I won't be taking any calls until a particular time when I do say that the phone lines are open, but it will be advisable to keep the phone nearby because they could open any time. Let's just get right into it. Good evening. If you're just joining us, this is the People's Radio, Sky FM, and you're listening to the Sky Forum, the People's platform, where voices collide, ideas are challenged, and the nation speaks back to power. Tonight's conversation is not comfortable. I warn you. It's emotional, it's political, and for millions of young Zambians, it is personal. They chant the slogans, they fill the rallies, they fight online wars for politicians they may never meet. They defend parties with unmatched energy. They flood social media timelines. They wear party regalia with pride, and they become the machinery of political survival. But tonight we ask, when policies are drafted and when contracts are awarded, when jobs are shared, when national decisions are made, where are the youth? Are young people in Zambia truly participating in leadership, or are they simply being used as political tools in a power game controlled by older elites? That's tonight's topic. The youth mandate, from political tools to policy architects. And joining us is a man who has become one of the loudest and most controversial youth-aligned political voices in Zambia, Honorable Binwell Mpundu. Honorable, welcome to Sky FM.
Tasha, that introduction. Thank you so much, Tasha.
I hope it did you justice.
So thank you so much for inviting me, Tasha, and permit me to greet those that may be joining us this evening. And I hope that we can give our listeners a good interactive program.
I also hope so. And I must let you know, we do open the phone lines, and we have very, very passionate listeners out there who want the truth, who want to hear their answers, their questions answered. So I hope you'll be prepared for that, not to scare you, but just
very equal to the task.
Just to prepare you. Honorable, without wasting any more time, let's start here. Every election season in Zambia suddenly becomes about the youth. Okay? Politicians suddenly remember Komboni youth. Young people become the future. Campaign songs get louder. Slogan trend harder, and they're always involving the youth. But after elections, many youth go back to unemployment, frustration, debt, and survival mode. So let me ask you directly. Are Zambian youth genuinely part of governance, or are they simply political ammunition?
Unfortunately, Tasha, the young people of Zambia are simply viewed as tools in the hands of politicians, and sadly so for many years now. Despite when you go back to history, it is the young people that actually, built the foundation of what Zambian politics is. There was a time when Zambians got frustrated with the leadership of the colonial masters, how we were being treated and everything else. We literally became visitors in our own home. And Zambians across the breadth and width of this country decided enough was enough. And they set on an agenda to kick out, the oppressors, the colonial masters. When you go back to history, you learn that the young people went and fought. History will tell you that, interestingly, our forefathers who did all the donkey work, who eventually formed our first government, were relatively young people, with KK having started these activities just around 27 years old. He was finally crowned as president of Zambia at only 40 years. When you look at the first cabinet of KK, they were relatively younger, with the oldest in that cabinet having only been about 42 years. The rest were young. When you again look at how many served in different portfolios, the Vernon Mwanga, the late Arabi, they were very young people. History will tell you when we celebrate, the Youth Day, that we commemorate those young people who were killed, in these struggles. So we have a very solid foundation of when young people actually got involved and actually did the actual governance, issues and decisions. Along the way, those who went ahead of us decided to, keep the young people away around the adage of young people are future leaders. That is an adage that has kept many young people kept in the terraces waiting for that future, which has never even been defined. I remember when I was running for elections in 2021, I had served as district commissioner for Kitwe. I had been, left out of the adoption on the basis that I was younger, only to be left again in 2021 on the basis that I was younger. Now, they were telling me I was still young, but I had served the city of Kitwe as the head of the government.
But what is that? I want to talk about it as a philosophy of Zambia, or an idea that Zambians have, that to be a good politician, you must be old and gray. That is a symbol of wisdom. But I know young people who are very wise, kuchila bakulu, to be very honest, and old people who are, I'm sorry to use it, very foolish. You know what I mean? So where does this idea that young people don't belong in positions of power come from?
Unfortunately, selfish people are the ones who've been able to create that narrative. Like I have intimated, the people that actually started the politics of Zambia were relatively younger. Let me not say relatively. They were young people. The KKs were young. The foundation of Zambia was beautiful in the hands of young people. The development you see about Zambia today was the development that was initiated by young people. When KK was in his prime years as a young leader, Zambia was destined for greatness. That is when we saw Zambia rising up as a star. During those, years, Zambia was doing very well in all facets. The economy was booming, employment was good. We had industries in every province. We had industries, bicycle assemblies, motor vehicle assemblies. We had companies that were manufacturing tires, Dunlop, if you remember. We had companies that were making suits. Our mining industries were thriving. That is a time when young people were in charge. Now, along the way, they grew. And were scared that if young people were allowed to take over, they would eliminate. There's this notion that when you give power to young people, two things will happen. Number one, that young people will mess up. Number two, that young people will exclude the young people from the political equation, or the other people from the political equation. Now, the notion that young people will mess up is completely false, and it is meant at keeping young people at bay, keeping young people as far away as possible. We have examples of young people who have thrived politically, starting from the very, first contingent of young people that led this country. And so they are selfish people that keeps pushing that narrative, and sometimes so based on maybe one mistake of young people that have been in leadership.
Paint everybody with
They'll
the
come
same
and
brush.
tell you, Mama na Binwell, ndati chimutwe. That is why you cannot have young people in power. Now, they forget You must make mistakes. Life is about learning.
We also see old people sleeping
Exactly.
in parliament, and we say that is why you shouldn't have old people. Yes, we have seen it many times. The person is literally snoring live on television.
Tasha, sleeping is even better. These old people are the reason why Zambia is on its knees, because of their selfishness. The corruption you talk about today at the leadership, done by politicians. Name one young person who has been caught up in the web of corruption. It is the old people. The tribalism we hear about today, the division across tribes and regions. Name one person who is a champion. It is always the old people. But they will rush out at young people for one mistake. A young person makes young people and say, Mwamona, why we don't include by youth? Because look at him. But they forget their own mistake. That's why even the Bible says you cannot remove a speck in your friend's eye when you have logs. And these old folks are clever. They keep going to young people during a time like this. You will see how important the young people will be, because let's face it, everybody knows the value young people brings to the table.
In fact, we are a majority population of the country.
Exactly. Now, the sad part is the young people themselves, somewhere, somehow, are to blame. You see what? When you go to a shop, Tasha, who determines the value of the product in a shop? He's the owner of the shop.
Yes.
He knows where he got those shops. He's the one who's going to be placing, values on the products, because he knows where he got those. The young people need to know their worth, their value. Nobody's going to place value on you, Tasha, as a lady. You are the one who knows what your value is. If a guy comes to you, Tasha, proposing you, okay, you know who you are. Okay, you are going to set the conditions. If you say, come as you should, or with whatever you have, then you are
Terms
placing
and conditions
value.
apply.
So the young people in Zambia, unfortunately, have placed themselves in that position of vulnerability. I was in that position myself. We toiled for PF. I was one of the few young people in this country that believed in the late Michael's, leadership. When it was not fashionable to support PF, we went and fought and built PF. But when it came to recognition, they would always tell us, wait for your time. And they always run to this, nonsense of loyalty. And I've always argued, loyalty should never be one-sided. Loyalty is a double-edged, thing, okay? Even nakabwafe dogs, puppies, pamwesu, Tasha. If you want your dog to be barking, what do? Keep it well. Provide the food. In the night, you will be sleeping comfortably. He will be doing the job. If you don't give, your dog food, you don't take care of your dog, when you need it to bark, it will not bark. And so it's supposed to be politics. Politics should be, loyalty should be a two-sided thing. You want me to be loyal to your political party? Also consider my interests. And so young people have unfortunately taken that comfortable position because they've been told, Imwe, not Lelo, you are future leaders. And they've been okay with it. Myself and many young people in the PF decided enough was enough. There was me, there was Munia Zulu, there was JJ, and many others who were left out in the adoptions quite a number of times. We decided, In Bemba, we say, ifi karika pansaka bwali. If there's nothing, no food here, there's no need to stay here.
Exactly.
Let's go and find our way. And that's how we found ourselves in Parliament. And this, I think, is a wake-up call for young people. If you're going to sit comforted by the adage that you are future leaders, that future will never come. Now today, they are being zemberekad in the name of, no, we have changed the constitution. We are now going to have 15 young people who are going to go to Parliament, so you must vote for us. Sadly, the young people, the 15 young people who are going to go into Parliament under proportionate representation, it's not you. It's not the common young people in the compound. It is their children. It is their relatives. We saw from the recruitment
who have been groomed and told what to say and which agenda to push and all of that. It's not the layman youth.
Exactly. We saw an example, a very ugly example, when the UPND government were recruiting police officers. 4,000 police officers secretly recruited.
But was that the UPND government? Was that the police? Because the police should be independent of any party. They're serving the people, not the party.
Come on, the police can't do anything without, the government. And the government, is the president and his people. We saw 4,000 young people drawn from their homes. These are leaders of the UPND. These are leaders of the police, the high-ranking police officers. We had even junior officers complaining, if we were not even considered to also submit names of our relatives. They picked their relatives, and that tells you, even when you talk about proportional representation, where they'll pick 15 young people to go to parliament, it is not you and me. It is their children. For the rest of the young people, they've created what they are calling Imisepela app. When you go to Imisepela app, Tasha, it will prompt you for details. Okay? All the details, God knows, we've seen in other countries where they will create an app towards elections so that they can get details for manipulating elections. We have seen it because when you go to that app, it will be asking you, do you want a job? Do you have 10 years experience? Come on. How does a young person who comes from school at the university get 10 years of experience if you haven't given them a job? So for the rest of the young people in this country, they've been treated to Imisepela app. The 15 positions that are going to be available for youths to go to parliament, unfortunately, it will be for their children, just like they've done on the recruitment of nurses, on the recruitment of officers at ZNS, on the recruitment of officers, police, their children.
I want to move the conversation towards your personal mandate now, because obviously, I hear what you're saying, but we can't dig further into that without any kind of evidence or receipts. Receipts prove timelines. But I want to bring you to this, Honorable. You've built a strong identity around us speaking boldly and challenging authority, as you have right now. Many youth resonate with your slogan, Ichaba Iche, because they feel angry, ignored, and economically concerned. From your testimony, I hear that you've been on the receiving end of being put aside and not being recognized for your efforts in the political scene. Do you believe today's political atmosphere in Zambia is being driven more by frustrated youth or by actual ideology?
Well, it's a mixture for me. Unfortunately, many young people today feel disappointed. Let me not say many young people. I think that every youth today who at least is not in the category of the Dumbani Madoda, the praise singers, feel the pain, the frustrations of having, pushed people into power on the premise of the many promises. Because you remember, it was so nice during the campaign of 2021. They used to be told, you will be shouting, just body and the job will be on your way. 5 years down the line, how many young people have gotten that recognition?
This is actually what I want to get to, because the youth dominate political rallies, online political warfare, cadre mobilization in the past. Gladly, we have done away with cadreism, or we're trying to protest culture, party propaganda, meme policies. But when it comes down to it, you don't see them in cabinet. You don't see them planning the economy, drafting policy, national ownership, strategic leadership. We see them doing the most when it comes to before elections. But where the positions matter, there is no youth representation that actually how can I say, has a real effect on the ground. Why do you think Zambia still fears giving real power and real jobs to the youth?
Like I said, first of all, the young people themselves have, relegated themselves to that very vulnerable position where, just give us any crumbs, or they are ready to just be picking the crumbs that falls off the table. Young people in Zambia, unfortunately, they are not prepared to fight their way onto the table. They are waiting for handouts, okay? They are waiting for that recognition. We've reached a place where we've waited for too long as young people. We demonstrated that, like I said myself, Venamunia and others, we demonstrated, the need for us to push our way to the table where decisions are made. Sadly, if we're going to still continue waiting for this recognition, I will tell you this, and I kid not, you will never get that recognition, because there's always that fear. You see, the old folks are afraid that if we give a chance to young people, there will be nothing for us. They will dominate the politics. They will kick us out of the equation. They are right to insinuate that when young people are given chance, they will kick them out of the equation. Because, come on, if I became president today, why would I keep Bamsokotwani?
I mean, obviously,
why would I keep
wisdom,
Bamilupi?
For wisdom,
no, wisdom.
For, wisdom to be trickled down, because we can't get rid of all the elders.
They are advisors. Their position reserved for people to advise. If I'm president today and I want wisdom from the people, I can create a special committee of advisors that will be mainly of the old folks. You don't need to keep them in the cabinet. You don't need to have them occupy all these positions. And that is what worries these old people.
And
that
they
is
are right
why.
to worry, right? Because
they have the right. Because, look, let's be frank. This country is stagnated in terms of progress. Why? Because we are using the same formula. They say, insanity is having to use the same things over and over again.
Expect a different result.
I don't know how we expect people like Bamsokotwani, who have been tried over and over again in the same positions with terrible results. We certainly expect they will produce miracles today. I don't know how people like Sylvia Masebo, Felix Mtati, who perform miracles having been tried over and over again. All these old folks, Muchima, defense minister, education minister, all these, our old men and women who are serving in the UPND leadership today, are people that have been in those offices for so many years and have performed the worst. But I can tell you again, and I want to stress this to the young people, if you are going to still be waiting that there'll be free goodies, they'll give you positions on a silver platter, most of these are selfish people. If there will be a slot for young people, it will not be you and me. It will be their children, and they've demonstrated that. So what is there as an option for the young people? The only option, unfortunately or sadly, is that young people now have only one way out: to unite and then push their way to fight for a space or a few spaces at least. There's always a starting point. We can start. Let's push, so many people to go and sit in the cabinet. And then later on, we have the power to now, fight for the bigger chunk of, the cake. So that is why, like you referred to Ichabaiche, I and my friends decided, let's create a platform. We create a platform where young people will now take the center stage. I know that we're not going to participate in the elections as Ichabaiche in August. We've decided to team up with the old people because strategically so, we realized that the terrain, the environment was not conducive. Clearly so. The political environment is, completely hostile today. Make no mistake, I have been doing politics. This is my 20th year, Tasha. I have never seen a regime that is as evil as the UPND. Look, election as an example is a competition. The best man wins, meaning that the best person who's going to advance good ideas to the people is going to convince the people and they'll vote for him. We've reached a place where it is no longer about competition. It is about playing schemes. They are calling it cleverly as imingalato.
But evil is a very powerful word.
It is what it is.
Could you elaborate on that?
It is what it is. It is when you focus not on competing, you focus on eliminating competitors. You are evil, sir. Oh, madam. Election is purely about competition. That is why the rules of engagement are clear. The Constitution, agreed by all the citizens, prescribes who must participate in the election at every level. councillor, mayor, MP, president.
Is it
the
not
Constitution.
that? Is it? It may be all of these alliances, don't they? Is it not that it's more of a situation of projecting an inferiority complex because when you see these alliances, it's parties and independent candidates joining these alliances. And we asked this question yesterday to say, are these alliances about bettering the people, or is it just about taking over power? Because sometimes it sounds more like an inferiority complex being imposed on the people to say, we feel as if we won't win, so let's unite and bring all these people who have one common goal, which is to unseat the UPND.
There's unfortunately a very sad realization in the political arena now, that unfortunately we are not up against noble men to compete with. We are up against evil men who use any manner of schemes to play dirty. We know that politics is dirty, but not as dirty as what has become now, where you want to manipulate the law to continue staying in power. Okay? At the expense of even usurping the powers of the Constitution. Whatever the ECZ is trying to do through the amendment to the electoral laws is completely foolish, because in the end, they are now negating or doing away with the Constitution. Remember, the supremacy of the Constitution cannot be compromised. Any law you enact must speak to the Constitution. So what has now become the order is to realize that, guys, we are not fighting gentlemen. We are not fighting, Democrats. We are fighting evil. It's like a modern day lion we have. The UPND, for me, I like to liken them to a modern day lion. They are here to negate the strides we've made in terms of our democracy. Our democracy, Tasha, has been flourishing in the region. We've been a beacon. We have been an example to many. We've changed governments, over and over again. Everybody looks at Zambia as a typical. Today, we've become a laughingstock because of these machinations being played. So, it is now a realization that before we can even advance our agendas, unfortunately, the terrain is not conducive. So we have a lion in the village. And normally, when you have a lion, and I always refer to what the Easterners will tell you, when the lion comes in the village and eats a mad person, you, the normal people, don't say, mukote, that is a mad person it has eaten. So leave it. Tomorrow, that lion will still be hungry. It will come. It will look for another mad person, right? The next day, when all the mad people will be eaten in the village, what will it do? It will still want to eat. It will now start eating
the
same normal people. So in the political arena now, we have this lion that is terrorizing. Today, they've enacted laws. They call the cyber laws. 3 pieces of legislation. The cyber laws, cyber crimes law, now the CCTV law. These 3 laws, so many people, if you go to prison, facilities, you will find people who you didn't even know have gone to prison because they were caught up in the web of the cyber laws. This lion is taking out anyone who holds it accountable. There are so many politicians who have gone to jail. Some of us are on the queue to go to jail.
Are you saying that it's a threat on the freedom of speech and freedom of press?
It is not a threat. It is the reality now. There is no freedom of expression today. Imagine, Tasha, that some of us who are at Parliament enjoys that freedom of expression, at least to some extent, because of the immunities we enjoy there, that anything you say in the House cannot be used against you in the courts of law. They have now taken an amendment as we speak. Out of those 75 bills being considered at Parliament, there is one that is demanding that we change the rules of engagement at Parliament, which we call the Code of Conduct. Now, a member of Parliament will be taken to the police, jailed over what they say in Parliament.
Everything you do can and will be used against you.
Now is going to be the order that MPs now will no longer have a cover. What am I saying? We have a lion that does not want to be held accountable, that is going to devour anyone who who stands in its way. Anyone who questions, why have you done this? Why have you made this decision, has to go to jail. Why have you done this shoddy road called the Lusaka Ndola Geo Carriageway? Why have you chewed our money from the toll gates? Now they will now be taking you out outside Parliament to Mafe Pachivi. They will be on your throat and they'll take you to jail, like they did to Munia. They realize that we have taken a person or an MP to jail without the law supporting us, because Munia, for those who didn't know, went to serve in prison because Munia was protected by the immunities of Parliament when he made the allegation against Mirupi and the finance minister.
Yes.
He was protected. I remember we took the magistrate to where Munia had made the statement. There's what we call precincts of Parliament, the areas around Parliament, buildings and the motels. Whatever you say in
On
those areas,
premises,
you are protected. But Munia was taken to jail. What are they now trying to do? They're now trying to sanitize that evil action they did on Munia by now removing completely the blanket. So, other than the agenda to develop this country, the opposition are faced with one task: remove this criminal, remove this lion. Because after August, you will remember my word today, Tasha, there will not be democracy in this country.
I want to take it back to the youth very quickly before I open the phone lines. Some critics, Honorable Mpundu, say political parties deliberately keep the youth emotional instead of intellectual, that it is easier to control hungry youth than empowered youth. Do you agree with this?
Yes, it is happening today. The West now, okay? The young people now will be paraded. First of all, what has happened in this country is because young people now are starving. Young people are destitute. Today, even when young people they go prospecting for minerals, they discover gold in Mufumbwe. Instead of supporting them like the Ghanaians have done, put them in cooperatives, support them with the resources they need, you send the police officers to go and open fire at your own children. In Mpika, the same has happened, where police officers have gone to open fire on the children who have discovered, on the young people who have discovered God. So deliberately, the young people are starved. No jobs, no business opportunities, nothing. When you are starved, you are a slave to that one who has what you need. That is why now you'll have intellectuals, young people who are getting educated in the public universities, being paraded for only 100 kwacha to go and sing Kwenyu and Sotsana. You have emotionally damaged the young people, emotionally or physically drained these young people. They are they've suffocated with these frustrations. They are hungry. They are starved. And what happens now? You come back and say, here is 100 kwacha. Come to State House and sing Kwenyu. Here is 100 kwacha. Go to the stadium and sing Sotsana. That is a reality, unfortunately. And unfortunately, it has been the order of the day. The old politicians have mastered this art, where they can come and dangle these carrots, okay? They'll give you some small, especially, during the elections.
Especially during the
they will
elections.
dangle these carrots.
And the
They'll give
slogans, they come out, they make catchy songs, the youth. Remember Dununa Reverse? The minute it plays, no matter where you are, Oko, you start dancing. I'm not saying it was a bad song. I'm not saying anything against it. I'm just saying the power of a song, the power of a slogan, even yours, Ichaba Iche, it catches the youth's attention. But how come it still goes back to the fact that after elections, the youth are pushed to the side?
Realization. The young people, unfortunately, still are in charge of their destiny.
Do you think?
And I'm saying
let me add this to that question. Do you think Zambia's economic pressure is making youth easier to manipulate?
Exactly. Tasha, it is so sad. I have spoken my lungs out to represent people. I have pushed people's agenda. Anyone who is conflicted with issues. Today I was pushing the issue of those who worked for during the NRC mobile registration. The officers have not been paid for over a year now. I have fought and fought
And
for
you're still
people.
going to work.
Yes. I have fought and fought for people. But what do? The old people will sit in their offices and call the young people, Binwell, go and attack. You will see from this broadcast, you will see the young people how they'll come and insult me. That's what I'm saying. Here, I'm actually, awakening the young people. Wake up, young people. You cannot be the ones to be used to do violence. You cannot always be used to go and insult others. You cannot always be the ones who are used to go and campaign, who are used to go and vote. At the end of the day, you get nothing. Wake up, young people. There will not be any person who will be as magnanimous, as gracious, as forthcoming, as nice as I am being to the young people. That, Bane, I have learned it the hard way myself. I pushed my way. I did every donkey work that needs to be done for my party. When there was no recognition, I took a solo trip. The young people now don't need to go solo trips. They need to work together because, like they say in Bemba, when the young people realize that we've been duped for a long time, they will realize that the only thing they are left with is to come together and not ever do those donkey works for the old, where you are sent to fight, to insult, and to campaign, but you must now be campaigning for your fellow young people.
Thank you very much. Honorable, at this point, I would love us to open the phone lines 0966 100 885 or 0777 885 885. Honorable Binwell Mpundu in the house tonight, a Zambian politician and businessman who currently serves as the Member of Parliament for Nkanda constituency in the National Assembly. I'm going to come back and there's one or two questions I want to ask you around that concerning the youth, but also we're going to play a game called Rapid Fire, where I ask you questions and then you respond quickly and short and to the point. But first, let's take our first caller of the night. Missed it. Keep that call coming in. 0966 100 885 or 0777 885 885. Sky FM, the People's Radio.
Good morning. Oh, good evening.
Good evening. Who are we speaking to? Where are you calling from?
This is Matthew.
Matthew.
I'm calling you. Matthew, calling you from Kawata constituency.
All right, Matthew from Kabwata. We have Honorable Mpundu in the building with us. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Honorable Mpundu, how are you?
I'm very well, Matthew. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mpundu. Yes, so, Mpundu, I've listened to you and I've followed deliberations in Parliament. Yes, and for me, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes, yes, we're happy as young people to have young leaders who are participating in politics, young leaders who are representing the youth. But the challenge we have is that you let us down as youth, because sometimes we look at how you conduct yourselves in Parliament, even the critics you've been giving on the radio. It's okay to give a balance, a check and balance. But the challenge we have is that even the current administration, they have done a lot of scores. They have scored so many things. I expected you also to recognize, to say, you've been a young politician who is building on a political party called Ichavaiche, which is a very good thing for democracy. But you look at also the things that the party has scored, for example, by UPND. They have scored the issues of education. They have improved the agriculture sector. They have improved the medication supply in hospitals. There are certain positive things that you as the opposition, we also want you to be pointing out some of the positive things the current administration has scored. But if you as the opposition, you be throughout negative, whereby everything you want to criticize, it's difficult for us, your fellow youth, to say, let's support our colleague, our friend. But if you are going to say, okay, here they have done well, here we can do better, we can improve, then we are going to say you are a credible opposition. But where you criticize everything, I think for me, my brother, that one is very difficult to agree with you. But where we see you, as Chavaich is coming, where you start saying, okay, here we've done well, here we have not done well as a government, because you are part of the government, you are the legislature. Even the policies you push to parliament, some of them you supported them, some you didn't support them. So this is what we want to see from you as the opposition. So give us a credible opposition where you can give a check and balance. Then we are going to say we are having a future political leader who is coming in the name of Binwell Mpundu.
Thank you
but
very
if you are
much.
going to criticize, then it will be difficult. I submit and I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matthew, for that contribution. Do stay tuned to the People's Radio. Honorable Mpundu, I'm going to take more calls and then I'm going to turn back to you so that you can respond to each and every one by one. Sky FM, the People's Radio.
Hello, madam. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. Mulibwanji lero.
Bueno.
Tikamisa na ndani.
Malibwanji wa Mpundu ni wabanda kukabwe.
Okay, Babanda, welcome to the show. Honorable Mpundu is in the building with us. What is your contribution for the night?
Waona kukamba chepale wa Binwell Mpundu. Kukamba wa makamba kuno manje. Biye wa sasa parliament. Ndia mbele kwa what doubt to create. Kuti tukawapaka wao matandizile that kind government is manje hapa kozi aba manje bakonde machape fana tu zibendo tikitira makabwera mpwawa wa Mpundu. So ndiye mao yanga tili kapena kulansi bakatiuza bakasiriza mao yao batuze tulafuna wakati tikiri bakangera mpwawa.
Okay, thank you very much for that one. And do stay tuned to the People's Radio. We are live on Facebook on Sky FM Zambia. If you'd like to follow the program live on Facebook with visuals, go ahead and follow us right now. And remember to like and subscribe to Sky FM Zambia. Sky FM, the People's Radio.
Good evening, Madam Natasha.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to? Where are you calling from?
You are speaking to Nalishua from Osaka.
Honorable Nalishiwa, welcome to the show. What is your contribution?
Greeting to Honorable Comrade Binwell Mpundu.
Thank you, Nalishua. How are you doing?
The Honorable, the Zambian youth, they love the Honorable. Let's not beat around the bush. But now, as I speak now, the Honorable, as Mike calling from Osaka Kawata, you have millions and millions of youths, whereby Honorable, you said it's a movement, and many youths were inspired listening to a story of you being a mayor of the other side of town. Now that Honorable, from being a movement leader, where you have moved from this country across the country, advertising for that. At the end of the day, sir, you get each other to each other kulu. So how can we trust you, Honorable Binwell Mpundu, when you are just condemning everything that the New Dawn government is doing? In your tenure as PF, you are going to mix with the people who are saying that in you tended they are old folks. Yet you today, you are mingling with the same old folks in PF who plundered the resources of this country. Who misled?
Hello? Honorable, yes, Honorable Nalishua, continue. We've got 10 more seconds.
Okay, thank you. So as I conclude, Binwell Mpundu, we will not vote for Tonse Cooperative. You continue with your movement. Zambian youth will rally behind you. Don't mix yourself with people who plundered this country in the name of PF. Those who never come back to power. Who knows Wamundu? No one knows Wamundu. So stand on your own, sir. People support you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nalishiwa. Let's take more of your calls. Sky FM, the People's Radio. Unfortunately, we lost that. We're also receiving your messages, 0966-100-885 or 0777-885-885. We have Honorable Binwell Mpundu in the building with us tonight. Sky FM, the People's Radio.
Hello.
Hello, who am I speaking to? Where are you calling from? Michael, go ahead with your contribution, please. Greet our guest tonight.
Yeah. Madam Jenga Kamini. Unakamba kongale akamba mtampundachi. But ufuna wangena mnanikani shiti mazedine so nyepezikati natolibewa family katisira usinesonga ngili so I problem ngesolving ya kwanji.
Okay. Thank you very much for that contribution. Do stay tuned. Sky FM, the People's Radio. Good evening. Who are we speaking to? Where are you calling from? Say that again, please. And I hope you have reduced the volume on your radio.
Exactly.
Okay. Katongo?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Katongo.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Binwell.
Good evening, Katongo. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Mpundu.
Yes.
Like my colleague said, as a good leader, sometimes you speak very well, but sometimes you go in the bush. And there's a way that I would love you, as you are saying that you're a good leader, to withdraw the word that you say foolish in your statement.
Mm.
Because you are teaching us now, you're telling you to follow your language. You say, we understand that politics is all about each other, but sometimes you need to admit to the wrong things and to compare and to accept it, to comment on the other good things that the other people have done. Appreciation in life is good. It's not everything. It's not everything. Even us, as UPND followers, it's not that everything that you fear for the government of PF that we condemn that they have never did anything good. No. We always appreciate for what the PF did, and there's some certain things, those wrong things that we saw that made us, the entire country, vote you out. You say, you did well in the other things, we appreciate, but now here is the problem. Now, you are the problem, our youth, for our youth fellows, who is a problem because you have never recommended anything that is done by UPND government. For example, if there is any country where youth we are very behind in terms of skills, Zambia is number one. In our neighboring countries, the country where we used to find the skilled youth only Zimbabwe and these other countries. But today, a good number of Zambian youth today are skilled because of the social sectors that have been brought by UPND government. They are just alone. So if you keep on, we understand that it's frustration to lose power. So, but at least be a genuine politician like that. Then you see that he will like you.
Thank you.
Speak, yes, we understand. So that is just a advice. So you do the way that you say it.
Okay, so Mr. Katongo, you were upset by the word foolish. Okay, Mr. Katongo, we have lost him there. 0966-100-885 or 0777-885-885. I'll take one more call, and then after that, we are going to obviously turn back to Honorable Mpundu so that he can respond to all of your messages. And also, I would like to read some of the messages that have come in, because it's not just been calls, it has also been messages. All right, let's go to our text messages right now. I hope you're ready, Honorable, because some of them are quite direct. Here's the first one. It says, okay, it's coming from the voice of Namuseba from Monze. It says, explain more on alienation. Who has been eliminated without going against the laws of Zambia? Cybers start by PF, who was failed by the majority. I don't know what that means. It means the laws UPND put in place are going to go with them, or it will remain for Zambians. Wow, that's a little bit of a difficult message to decipher there, but I guess he's saying that cyber crimes began with the PF. There were also issues under the PF government when it came to the cyber restrictions and freedom of speech. There's another message saying, good evening, Baskai FM and Mr. President Mpundu Ichaba HS. Sir, we love you. I personally love you so much. You are so different from others in terms of politics. Please, let's fight for Mundubile on the 13th of August, 2026. I'm listening to you from 10 miles. My name is Peter. That one comes in from Peter. Thank you, Peter, for sending through that message. Another message saying, addressing the ruling party and calling them evil and lions, that's pure childish politics type and propaganda. The way you carry yourself, Mr. Mpundu, should I just be honest with this message?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
The way you carry yourself, Mr. Mpundu, is childish. Point out, and not to point out, you're still growing up in politics. You're still growing up. Talk about reality. Face the real politics. Don't forget the political motto is a dirty game. As a leader, you have a right voice, not a vulgar voice. Sarcasm language that you are using. So basically, please, that's what he's saying. Don't be sarcastic. There. So yeah, all right, we've read your messages. I'll take my last call for the night. Sky FM, the People's Radio.
Yeah, madam.
Hello, who am I speaking to? Where are you calling from?
Mwanza from Umakero constituency.
All right, Mr. Mwanza, go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening,
Good evening, Honorable Mpundu.
Good evening, Ba Mwanza.
Yewe na nkalokondwera kabisa na honorable. Ndamuzameni mapongani munsi olomkankala parliament. Most bantu bamene akukambira abantu okuyindirira abantu swamakondewa. European government ishitaka destroy Zambia kutoka after general election. Inafika patani yote kwamba kumbuka na kubwerera yote kuishiwa kwamba tia kwenye makada kinangu ngamoganiza ati kwenye kwamba na situation ya minute pita modelo. Lero paribe kali konsumaino ngakambeti ya mushe sote ende atibweza it is for economic muyamba manje zangu ku building diplomatamba but already the bantu wetu wana.
Oh, unfortunately we lost that one. Through to Sky FM. Hello.
Yes, Dash, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. This is Kenny.
Oh, yes, Mr. Kenny, welcome to the show. What is your contribution for this evening? We have Honorable Binwell Mpundu. By the way, Mr.